Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. We just got the house photos for the Big Brother 27 house. It is definitely my all-time favorite house that we have ever had in the Big Brother US franchise. I'm so excited. Let's go ahead and dive right into all of it. As you guys know, here on this channel, I love reality TV and I love books. And I feel like this house is the perfect house for someone like me. It's definitely giving like dark academia vibes and bookish vibes, all in the Big Brother house, so I am ecstatic. But we start off walking right into the Big Brother hotel mystery house. There's a reception desk right as you walk in the very front door. And then, of course, if you go over a little bit to the side, we have the living room, which is fully decked out in like a purple wallpaper setting. It's super, super cute. There's a bookshelf in the back area and like back behind one of the couches next to the diary room door. And then we have two long red couches where most house guests will sit. And then what you have to really pay close attention to when these house photos drop sometimes is what are the nominees going to be sitting on? And if you will see in these photos, they do not have two separated eviction nominee chairs. They have a love seat there, which to me means, like we've been speculating, we probably do have some kind of an AI arena twist coming back to us this season, because a love seat typically indicates more than two nominees each week, at least for a while. So that's definitely one thing that I've noticed so far in the photo drop. And we did get some additional details about some twists and live feeds and things like that. And I will have a section in this video where I kind of dive into some of those things as well. Back to the house photos though. Another thing here in the living room that is really cool that I want to make mention of is up above that area, along the wall that would go into the diary room. Up above that, they have these cutouts with all of these chess pieces. And it just really looks really, really cool. And it kind of just adds even more to that like dark academia kind of vibe that is in a couple other rooms throughout the house, but especially here in the living room. I will be honest, just because of like my own dark academia like aesthetic that I like, I would have preferred something other than purple to be like the main color of the living room. But other than that, no complaints on this one. Let's move into the kitchen. And I have to be honest, I think the kitchen is my favorite room of the house so far this year. I think that I honestly am feeling like we are missing a couple of rooms. We definitely don't have the HOH room yet. But I think we're also missing a bedroom, and then I'm kind of confused on the have-not situation. So we'll see. I'm kind of hoping that Julie does her actual walkthrough tour on like Entertainment Tonight like she normally does later today. But I don't know. There hasn't been an announcement about that, but that's what I am hoping for. But the kitchen is stunning. They have like these plants hanging off the loft from upstairs. I love the color scheme or aesthetic of this room. You have kind of like those neutral colors. You have the blues, like the powder blue. It's like giving Bridgerton vibes. The sconces on the wall that look like old lanterns. I am truly, truly obsessed. I love what they've done with the railing on the staircase to go up to the second floor area. It's gorgeous. I love the kitchen. There's also like a mural of a sunset on the wall. I mean, it's just perfection. It's just perfection. I love the kitchen. This is my favorite room. Moving on to one of the bedrooms that we did get photos of. Just kind of speaking real quickly on both bedrooms, I have counted a total of 12 beds, which is why I think that we are missing another room. And so there's 6 beds in each bedroom. There's bunk beds in both bedrooms. They're very different styles of bunk beds, but both have bunk beds nonetheless. So I see a lot of people talking about the bunk beds in the second room that we're going to talk about, but I haven't seen a lot of people calling out the bunk beds in this room, and I don't know if it's because people aren't recognizing that that's what it is. But if you look really closely at the photos, you have one bed that is going this way and then one bed under this way. And then over against the opposite side of that wall, there are two single beds. Honestly, this room is just a lot of chaos. I get how it fits into like the vibe and the theme, but it's not as, this is the least aesthetically pleasing room of the house, 100%. Second bedroom, this is the room that a lot of people are talking about the bunk beds in. Because in this room, we have a wall that is just 3 columns of bunk beds, 2 in each of those columns. So again, a total of 6. And then on the opposite wall of the beds is nothing but dressers. And in the first room, I didn't really see like a dresser storage area. So I'm wondering if like everyone is just going to have to be in this room here for storage purposes. In this room, there's also some seating areas right in the center of the room. I like the color scheme of the room. I like the floral additions. I think the curtains are kind of cool and everything. So like it's an interesting room, but it's also very interesting that we have bunk beds. We haven't had those since like season 1. And I definitely think we're going to be seeing like a compilation at the end of the season of people falling out of the top bunk. I think that that's something we can probably bank on. If you have not made your bingo card yet, go ahead and add that to the bingo card for sure. Okay, moving on to the Venom lounge. Now, from my understanding, what this looks like in the photos is that this would be the lounge that's like directly outside of the HOH room in that upper loft area. So we have 2 chairs, an ottoman, and then a couch. There is currently no fish tank up here, but I am kind of wondering, just with this whole like mystery theme and everything, is it a possibility that the photo that's up against the lounge chair couch area, I wonder if that's like just a screen that can raise and maybe the fish tank would be back behind there? I don't know. Maybe the fish tank is in the HOH room because that has been the case in a couple of seasons. It's crazy that they move that. It's a massive fish tank. It's crazy that they move it every year. But anyways, I like the vibes of this room. I think everything that's on the wall is very interesting. I think that it would be insane if we do not have one of those competitions this year where they are asked about things inside the house, because there are things everywhere in this house. So that like has to be one of the competitions that we're going to have in this season. Another room that we have is the wine cellar room, which this one actually made me laugh out loud because if you know anything about the Big Brother house, there's not a lot of wine to be passed around. It's very limited on alcohol that you get in the Big Brother house. There are some seasons where they barely get any at all. And so the fact that they have a whole wine cellar room and probably won't get much wine throughout the season is kind of comical to me. But it's a cool room. I really love the vibe of it. They have like a little bar bench area. Again, there's a lot of things on the wall. I think that this room is kind of that lounge area that sits off of the bathroom. I think that's where we're at in the house. It's got like a faux brick wall kind of scenario. It's just a really, really interesting room, and I like the aesthetic of it. What is going to be probably my second favorite room of the house, based on what we have so far, that's the bathroom. It's being labeled as a Victorian conservatory. And again, I just really like the aesthetic of the bathroom. It is giving very Victorian. There's all these plants hanging off the ceiling, and I'm begging and hoping and pleading that these are faux plants and that no one is going to need to make sure they stay on top of watering these plants so that they don't turn into dead plants on the live feeds. But yeah, I like the colors of the room. I like the blue with the green. I like that they went with these pedestal sinks instead of the normal countertop with 2 separated sinks. I think that's really cute. I do like the little vanity section that they have and the chairs that they have there. Super cute. Love it so much. And then we have a separate gym room. So if We only have 2 bedrooms so far and a total of 12 beds. We don't have any room that is labeled as the have not room yet. We don't have the HOH room yet. And then we have the lounge outside of the HOH. We have a separate gym, but we also have that wine cellar room. I'm really wondering if we don't have a have not room this year. Because it seems like the gym and the wine cellar seem like extra. One of those is an extra room. The last couple of years, where that wine cellar room is where the gym has been. At least my understanding of like what I can kind of piece together from photos. I think that this gym room is that upstairs second room that in the last few seasons has been the have not room. That's what I think. So typically there's 3 bedrooms downstairs, and then we have the have not room upstairs in our most recent seasons. So we've only gotten 2 of those bedrooms. So we did see like, think BB 18. I can't remember. The have not room used to be downstairs. So it is 100% a possibility that the reason we only have 2 of the downstairs bedrooms so far is because the third one is now the have not room. That is 100% a possibility. But I'm just saying, we definitely have some like structural changes as far as that layout goes for this season. And then throughout the house, we have all these different elements, and I'm really planning on diving a little bit deeper into some of these things because I think that there's a reason why we've gotten like close-up photos of certain things. Like there's a close-up photo of one of the pictures on the wall in the lounge room. There's a close-up photo of this peacock statue. There's a close-up photo of 2 separate different safes. There's a close-up photo of a telephone, which has been part of telephones have been part of twists in the past. So I'm going to dive a little bit deeper into these, see what some other people are speculating, and I'll definitely try and make another video before everything kicks off next week. But I definitely think there's a reason that we're getting some of these specific zoomed in photos. But that's kind of an overview of the house photos that we have so far. Let's dive into some of the information that we got from the actual like press release text documents. So the person that there's 2 people that I really rely on whenever it comes to BB News, and that is Mike Bloom and Sharon Tharp. And I'm going to be referencing Mike Bloom's Parade press release about the Big Brother 27 season. So a couple of things that he said that like really, really stuck out to me is, number 1, we're going to have a mystery house guest. Now, when the premiere date was announced back in May, they said in that press release that these would be all new house guests, no returning players. So this now with the mystery house guest tells me one of 2 things. Something has changed since that press release, or this mystery house guest is not a former Big Brother player. Maybe we do have in the fall, which will run concurrently with some of the Big Brother season, we do have the Big Brother Amazing Race crossover season. So maybe they're going to add in an Amazing Race former contestant to be a part of the Big Brother cast. Or maybe we're going to have a Survivor contestant be part of the Big Brother cast. I think it's probably someone in the CBS verse of some kind, but not an actual returning Big Brother player. I think that's what we're going to get with this mystery house guest. Now, another part of that is I hope that it doesn't turn into a BB19 repeat where it was part of a twist that in order for Paul to come back in, one of the new people had to be evicted night 1. I hate night 1 evictions, so I'm really, really hoping that that's not what we're getting a repeat of for this year. That kind of does tie into a couple of the other things that he said in his article that really drew my attention. So I'm going to read it for you. So again, this is from Mike Bloom's Parade article from today, July 2nd. So it says, while the players are getting acclimated to their new surroundings and competition, they'll be hit with the season's first batch of twists in the opening. According to the network, the 90-minute premiere will include a masked visitor, a secret accomplice, and the shocking arrival of the mystery house guest. Okay, so let's dive into those three things. We did just talk about the mystery house guest. Let's talk about the masked visitor. Like I said when we were discussing the living room, I think that we will see a return of like the AI arena. It's going to be labeled something completely different. It might even be tweaked just a little bit, but I think it's going to be that kind of a twist. And I think this masked visitor is going to play into that by being kind of a character that narrates the season similar to how AI Ainsley did last season. I think that's what the masked visitor is going to be. I don't think it'll be like another house guest. It's going to be some kind of a character that we'll have with us throughout the season. Now, a secret accomplice. I am going to go ahead and lock in my speculation that I think we are seeing potentially the return of some kind of an America's Player type of twist. It may not be fully driven by America, but I think it's going to be something like that, where there's a secret player or a secret mission, something along those lines with one specific player. I think that's what this secret accomplice is going to be. That's what my gut is telling me about this. And I wouldn't be mad about it. I kind of like, in BB12 when they did the Saboteur, obviously it flopped week 1 because the Saboteur was evicted. Spoiler alert, sorry. But then whenever they changed it and brought it back that same season and had Reagan be the Saboteur, it added an interesting element to the game. And it was entertaining to watch. I also always love trying to figure those things out on the feeds. It adds another layer for us as feed watchers as well, in my opinion, to try and figure out like, okay, I know this person is the Saboteur, but did what they just said, like, did they mean that, or was that an act of like their assignment or whatever? Some of those kinds of things. So yeah, I think that that's the secret accomplice, is going to be some kind of secret mission that a specific player has. I don't know if they'll be controlled by America per se, or if it's just going to be that they have a different mission. Because like the Saboteur initially was not controlled by America. Later on, they would take America's input when it was Reagan. And then we did have, like I mentioned, America's Player, and they were fully controlled by America. So, but I think it's going to be that kind of a twist, is we have a player with a secret agenda. Everything that we have talked about so far has been great, phenomenal news. I love a good foundational, not super twisty season, but I also love a season that is full of twists if they're good. And I'm not necessarily mad at any of my own twist ideas based on this information that I have in my head. Obviously, we'll have to wait until the premiere next week to see what they actually are. But so far, I'm not mad about what I'm thinking. They seem to be good twists so far. Twists that I would like to see, or that I'm not mad to see potentially come back. However, this next little bit that we're gonna end on a low note here. Because we did get confirmation that the house guests will be moving in on July 8th, which we kind of figured it wasn't going to be them moving in on July 10th, the date of the premiere, because it's not been advertised as a live move-in this year. So that was kind of to be expected for them to move in a couple of days early. And last year was very similar. We didn't get the feeds until day 3 of them being moved in, because they moved in a couple days before the premiere. However, what's different this season, and what I've been worried about since the May announcement release, is we will not be getting feeds until after the second episode of the season, which will be Sunday. So the premiere is on Thursday, and we will not get feeds until the Sunday episode. So that's really frustrating, because not only are we going to be waiting several days after the premiere with really no new information or anything like that, we're just going to the premiere is all we get, and then we're going to have days in between the premiere and the next episode with no feeds. On top of that, they're moving in a couple of days before the premiere, so they're going to have almost 6 whole days of being in the house with no feeds. As someone that used to watch the feeds when they used to be in the house for like 11 days before the feeds came on, it's really frustrating, and you do miss a lot of things and a lot of context in those first initial days. For like a reference point, it was day 3 for the Angela and Matt confrontation last year. That was day 1 of the feeds. They had been in there for 2 days already. We got the feeds. That was like the full first day of feeds is when all of that happened. And we missed some of the context of what she was referring to because we didn't have feeds for those first couple of nights. So this year it's going to be even worse. We're going to have a lot to piece together throughout the season. There will be a lot of references back to these times that we missed. And we'll just have to work together to put those puzzle pieces together. So I was extremely disappointed to hear that news on the press release, or read that news on the press release articles today. But I'm just trying to stay positive and remind myself that at least it's not an almost 2 week. It's almost a week, but it's not almost 2 weeks like it used to be. But I'm really excited. Definitely let me know down in the comments what room in the house you are most excited about, or what your overall thoughts on the house are. I would also love to hear your thoughts on the masked visitor, the secret accomplice, and the mystery house guest twist. Let me know what you're thinking those things may be. And if we get any more news before premiere day, or actually, we'll definitely get the cast list. I'll be back for sure with a breakdown of my thoughts and opinions on the cast when we get that. I expect for that to come sometime early in the week next week. I think that today's information is probably about all we're going to get until the cast release. But yeah, I'm really excited. We're definitely here nearing the ending stretch of preseason, and we are just a little over a week away from the actual premiere date. So make sure, if you're not already, subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss anything about Big Brother. I'll have a video posted later this week to kind of go into detail on how I'm going to cover the season on this channel. But make sure you're subscribed. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.